this is an update that covers the last year, and if this is a lot of sort of repetitious content for you, bear with me. There are a lot of people, especially if this is going to go up on YouTube, that haven't heard the stories of what's been happening over the last year. There are people who show up on YouTube, that's all they know me from, and they come in and they say, did he die? Did he quit? Did he, get sick? They don't know, and so this is the update for them, showing up, watching the videos. Like, I still get a lot of views from people who are just kind of stumbling in and finding us late, and so for discovery's sake, I want to have this there for them. So this is going to be kind of a chronological update, and if we can put together some interesting stuff on the runs in the meantime, so be it. But I'm not going to work all that hard on like min-maxing or talking about gameplay. I found out that I know that I don't know a whole lot about the game. I found out I know even less about the game than I thought I did on this trip to TwitchCon, but that's neither here nor there. So, we're about 11 hours. We're about 11 months removed from our last our last actual live scheduled stream. So, Taffy, what happened? You were here one day and gone the next. So about a year ago, and I told this story at TwitchCon to a couple of people. About a year ago, we were playing Fallout New Vegas, and I tried to tell this story. We did a short stream when I was testing some technical stuff for Overwatch for 99Lives for the year one celebratory event. And I didn't do a very good job of telling the story because I ultimately I couldn't pay attention. Overwatch is not something that I'm good enough to both play and commentate over at the same time. So I came in on a Tuesday to play Fallout New Vegas, and then Wednesday was going to be more of the same. And on Wednesday, Amber had a doctor's appointment, for those of you who may not know or are like literally wandering in here new, because this is a new time slot for us, so we may get new viewers. Amber's my wife. She's Best Taffy, wife Taffy. And so Amber had a doctor's appointment, and it was to see about a lump on her breast, and we thought it would be just a clogged milk duct, because she and I had just had our son Rory, and we were breastfeeding, and well, she was breastfeeding. I was not doing as much breastfeeding because I didn't want Rory to grow up to be an axe murderer. So she's breastfeeding. We thought it was a clogged duct, and so she went and got it looked at, and it turned out to actually be breast cancer. And I just and like when I say I couldn't come in and play video games and be funny and be the clown, nobody has come out and said that they expected me to, but I felt like an obligation to, like a civic obligation to come in, and you guys are like family to me, so like to ditch on you like that didn't feel great. But yeah, I went from being worried I didn't know what I was going to do in Fallout New Vegas to being terrified that I was going to have to raise my kids alone. That's an insane swing, man. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't come back, and I couldn't like start 99Lives with guys like Not, and take care of my family and stream all at the same time. So I'm having real misgivings about doing this, but whatever. So she got sick, and I disappeared, and I tried my best in Facebook and in Twitter to keep everybody informed, and everybody was super cool. Nobody came out and was just like, you owe me time. But I felt bad because I'd already spent a lot of time invested in this with you guys, and I didn't want to just give it up, but we had to focus, and it was scary. And if any of you ever have to go through that, know that I'm here for you, because it is a terrifying experience. Amber handled it like a champ. We are still in the thick of it. We are still battling through it. She has finished radiation. She has finished chemotherapy. Her hair is growing back. We are in the middle of reconstructive surgery, which will wrap up in March, which will mean that we will have been dealing with cancer for, I don't know, at that point like 17 or 18 months. So, you know, we're coming out of the tunnel, and it's an awesome thing because not everybody gets the good news. Hey, it worked! That worked! Or is that just some random shit that's happening now? That may just be random shit that's happening right now. So, if somebody's subscribed, that's awesome. If not, that shit is broken, and I will tend to it later. And we will just have random 8s throughout the course of the broadcast. So, yeah, we were dealing with that. And, we did chemo. Chemo was super scary. At one point, Amber came into the living room, though. Like, we handled it all with humor, if you can imagine. My family handled cancer with some seriously dark humor. Amber came into the living room and had the boys show Daddy how they could pull out clumps of her hair. And that was the day before we shaved it all off. So that was that was how we decided that we were gonna shave her head. Was that she was just like, hey, look, the boys are pulling all of my hair out in big old clumps. They thought it was a sweet game, and like they got that she was sick. I don't know that they'll, until they get older, they'll understand exactly how sick she was. But yeah, we did chemotherapy, and then we did radiation after this massive surgery that happened this last spring. And the massive surgery, double mastectomy, removed both of her breasts, and most of the skin and tissue. Damn, these all suck. Oh, and I couldn't buy a key. Wow, that blows hard. Okay, well, yeah, so she beat it, and it was super duper scary, but we did it. And now we're on the other side, and she's every bit as much excited to push forward with this as I am. I picked this time slot a little bit too because in the morning she'll come through and she'll bring Grayson through, and Grayson can say hello on his way to school. Grayson's in public school now. Grayson will be 6 in October. And Rory will be 3 in January, if you can believe that. So when he comes through, we'll go ahead and break some Twitch terms of service. Yeah, man, Grayson will come through, but then he'll be gone, and then Amber has a tendency to run errands in this window. And so she takes Bug with her, and it's usually pretty quiet. So it's shaping up just to be the best time that we can possibly get in here and do this. So you'll notice that a lot of items are missing. We're starting from a fresh save file. We're going to do this all from scratch. We're going to own this together because I have not had the opportunity to play The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth with Denizens, so we're going to start fresh. We're not going to jump in on something that I've been half-assedly working on for a while. How am I? I'm fat. I got chubby. I got a little bit older. Last time you guys saw me, I was actually in the process of losing a lot of weight. I was down to 215. Life happened. I got lazy and stressed out. And I'm going to the gym before the streams. So I'm getting up at 5 in the morning, going to the gym, then coming in here and starting the stream at 8 and going to noon, then taking lunch, and then after lunch, I'm gonna do 99Lives stuff. So that's my day. That takes me all the way through to like dinner. So, and then after dinner, I have a couple of minutes with Amber. I take my Ambien and I go to sleep, man. Puberty's not so bad. So chronologically speaking, that was cancer. That was a year of cancer. It was incredibly scary. I will happily, anybody who wants to talk about it, it's cool, and I'll be totally open about it. I don't want to be full on like Debbie Downer and play the sympathy card the whole 4 hours that we're playing video games, because that's, Amber didn't send me in here to get sympathy for her. She's a hard-ass woman, man. She doesn't need your fucking sympathy. She does.
8.
Random 8s, man.
8.
Random 8s.
8.
Streamlabs, why do you mess with my heart like that? So yeah, I guess let's see, chronologically, that was Cancer into launching 99 Lives. 99 Lives has been 99 Lives has been an insane series of ups and downs. It's been good, and we had a number one, several number ones on iTunes dance charts. Lucky Block actually hit number 42 of all albums, all genres. We were sitting in between NSYNC and NWA. Yeah, man, it's been nuts balls. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this.
8.
That shit's just random.
8.
Like it's just randomly going off. I don't dare turn it off because it's got the holy shit for donations, so I don't want to mess with that. But these random ass 8s are blowing my mind a little bit. So yeah, 99 Lives, it's hard. Like what we're doing is difficult, and we're in I'd say a bit of a slump right now because we're trying to depend less on Ian to just carry us, which, you know, just means fewer eyes on us. But Nott and I are working on something that we think the Twitch community is going to be really happy to use. Speaking of all the weird music things that we think are on the horizon, I've been in one shop because I've had 0 real keys to speak of, or one item room because our shops have all been like pretty bad. And then there's been sort of traveling and being at conferences for the first time on sort of a schedule in my young life. I've not been somebody who's been able to make it to conferences a lot. It's been a real sore spot for me in that a lot of conferences I've gone to, I've been the +1 for a lot of folks. Screw the shop, man. I'm going into the item room. Wyatt Rumor and Stevie cheered. Stevie says, you need to unlock your favorite character, Maggie. That fat whore can die in a fire. And then Wyatt Rumor drops 2,000 bits in and says, ante up. Oh my god, I've missed you sons of bitches. So, in traveling, I went to a lot of conferences. And the first conference that I went to after Amber's illness was sort of a thing of public knowledge, was PAX East this year in Boston back in the spring. And as some of you may know or may not know, Rob Latsky, Woofles, and I, we met up there. We buried the hatchet, man. There's no bad blood anymore. Who knows if there should have even been bad blood to begin with. He and I had a long talk, and you know, he did some cool things behind the scenes when Amber got sick, and you know, sometimes it takes something of that magnitude to snap people out of their sort of shitty petty grievances in the past. Why did I do that? I don't know why I opened that golden chest. I should have gone to the shop. That's fine. So yeah, Rob and I buried the hatchet, and you know, we've been apart too long, I think, to just sort of be like, hey, let's play Rocket League together. But I'd like that, you know? The guy was my friend for a really long time, and I think it would be super cool. It would be super cool to get back to that at some point. But who knows, man? Fate will take whatever route it really wants to, and we won't. You know, we'll just be happy that we don't actively have weird negative energy and animosity floating out in the world. So, and with that, it gave me an opportunity to see guys like Preston and Lachlan and Jerome. Oh god, I feel like I'm probably missing somebody. Vicstar, I got to bump into, but yeah, those guys that, you know, made up my everyday for a little while, and to give them big hugs, because those guys are my friends, or at least were my friends. I was friendly to them. Friendly with them, and I like them. Oh, this is gonna get bad. So yeah, that happened. What else? So every year that I've done cons, I've been somebody's +1. Every year that I've done cons, I've been somebody's +1. It's like there's not been a real good reason for me to be there, other than I'm hanging out with people. And this last conference at Twitchcon, man, really feels like that's something that turned a corner. I met people, and like some people knew who I was. Not like, oh my god, the legend of Taffy is true, but like people had heard of me, and I met some cool people and got to actually be myself. Not just like, oh, I'm Not's friend, or oh, I'm Woofles' friend. I spent some time with Brain TM. If you have not given him a follow, if you've not given him a follow on Twitch, you would be doing me a huge favor if you did that. Brain TM is an Isaac speedrunner. He does the full Isaac character list speedrun. So he starts with the Keeper and then goes to Lilith. And then he cycles through to like until he has Isaac as the last one. And I want to say he had like a 2-hour like all characters speed run. The shit's insane. It's crazy to watch. I don't understand how he does it. Like, it's infuriating to me, but that's because I'm too idiotic to understand how he works his magic. So yeah, we got to meet some people, and people took an interest. And some people actually are getting to a place where they're remembering me from having gone to previous conferences. I got to spend a chunk of time hanging out with Rami Ishmael, the brilliant like video game Jesus from Holland, who made Nuclear Throne. That guy, man, I could sit and talk with that guy and listen to that guy talk until just the break of dawn. He's so cool. And Bacon Donut, man, of course, just one of the coolest motherfuckers on the planet. Nope, this is not how I die. Hanging out with Brain TM, man, him being a speedrunner and being knowledgeable about the game, Not was a total dick and put up one of my old Isaac YouTube videos and then made Brain watch that. It's gonna be annoying because it's gonna be like this random 8 thing is gonna happen now, and it's like I don't have anyone to like turn and welcome. Oh, that's so good. So yeah, Brain watched me play Isaac, and it was just murder. It was just murder to have this guy who knows everything about the game watch me play. I even saw what I was doing wrong, and I'm sure that's gonna happen again. But what are you gonna do, man? Like I'm not somebody who's ever gonna hold an encyclopedic amount of information about this game. I'll try, like, I'll take information from you guys as we go along and apply it as necessary. Yeah, but the 8s are follows? No! That's horrible! We have to do something about that. That can't be happening. Therein lies madness. No, sir. Let's fix that. Holy hell. Alright, so anyway, so yeah, TwitchCon, I was there, and it was really, like, it was painful to have, like, really good Isaac players watch me play video games, and it was only because Not knew he could get away with it, because frankly he was, like, paying for everything while I was there, because I'm still broke as a joke, man. Cancer is expensive as hell. Amber and I, because of the timing of how she got sick, are going to have to pay our max premiums for 3 years, like 3 calendar years, even though she's only going to be sick for like 16. It's $20,000 a year. Like, don't get me wrong, man. I'd rob banks, you know, to make sure that Amber was healthy. Because when she wasn't healthy, I've never been more scared in my life. So that's fine. Like, we had a little bit of extra money that we had put aside for a house, and that just ends up being my kids get to have their mom money. So, you know, that's fine and everything, but you know, like, I'm not ashamed to say that Not at these conferences has kind of been my straight up sugar daddy. So yeah, the average Isaac players are even scarier to have watching me play. So so yeah, man. Brain was awesome. I ran into BizSnap while I was there, and BizSnap gave me a great big hug. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was hugging people whether they wanted it to or not. I went all in on, like, I'm gonna be a huggy touchy guy, and we're gonna see whether or not I sink my Twitch reputation before I even have a chance to come back, because I'm the weird, gross guy who hugs people. I don't want that. I want something big. So, oh right, I have that. I was just like, why is this taking so long? Who else did I see? So I sat next. Okay, so if you didn't get a chance to see it, there's a VOD. Maybe Cowboy or somebody can find it and post it into chat. There's a VOD, most recent VOD from Jack Lafeer. So Jack Lafeer, really cool guy as well. Got to meet him in person for the first time. He put up the Jackass podcast after party, where he grabbed a whole bunch of us that were just staggering from the end of TwitchCon, and stuck us in a room and interviewed people. And 99Lives footed some of the bill for it. And I got put up in the third hour with I got put up mostly with Zeke and Dick Hammer. So I nearly made out with Dick Hammer. I scissored with him for a little bit, at which point I felt obligated to call him Dick Scissor because it made sense. Yeah, I got to see like Pixel Monkey, and got to see Draskia, got to see Molly Games and Badger. Flame Goat and I may actually end up playing the co-op from Portal 2 together, because neither he nor I have played it, and I feel like that's something that we should go back and touch up and finish. Yeah, it was just super cool. I know I'm leaving people out. I shared a bed with Big Giant Circles, who does a shit ton of music for the video gaming scene, not to mention just makes good music that people enjoy. God, who else did I get to put my mitts on? Kamikaze Kitten was there. Ari Kitty was there. I took a photograph with Darude, man. I took a photograph with Darude, and then they asked me if I liked the picture, and I said no, I look like a serial rapist. And then he sat there and looked at me for a second before saying, "So would you like another one?" And I was just like, "Yes." And I would like to not mention that I said I sound like or I look like a serial rapist. So so yeah, man, it was cool. There, the Twitch, excuse me, the Twitch party was insane. The official like big, they held it at Petco Park, which is where the Padres play sports ball. And I got there, and T-Pain was playing when we walked in, and then Steve Aoki took the floor and threw cake at everybody, and then Darude came on, and and just he murdered it. Oh my God, Darude was so good. Like, they were all good. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not sitting here insinuating that somehow Steve Aoki and T-Pain didn't know how to work a crowd. But I'm old enough that Darude was actually like being played on the radio, not as a meme. When I was a kid, like, Darude was a big hit. I made mixtapes with Darude on it, like actual tapes. Go fuck yourselves. I'm so old. I'm so old. So it was not only was it like a real honor to meet him, but it was cool to get to see him play. Yeah, man, and he fucking slayed it. He slayed the set. Not and I drove down to within like 17 miles of the within 17 miles of the border of Mexico, and got dirty Mexican food, which I don't know if that, I hope that's not like a privileged white way of like describing this food that's like horribly offensive. I'm just repeating what I was told it was called, because it's basically like glorified, like it's a food truck except it's a building that does like greasy, like not necessarily authentic Mexican food, but carne asada fries and horchata and stuff like that. And I'd never had that before, and that's so that's so good. Absolutely so good. So, oh my God, don't make me laugh. Oh shit. Skeeter Skater says, "Taffy, what was it like when the Constitution was ratified?" And I want to choke the fucking life out of you with my hands, but that's so funny. But I'm trying not to laugh because my throat's all raspy. Oh my God. There Sky says, "Hello from Australia." See, that's another cool thing about this time slot. Let me talk about that for a split second. First of all, g'day, mate. I am fucking thrilled to have you tuning in from Australia. That's another thing about this time slot. I picked this early time slot not just because it's the time that I have that I can force to be free in the day to play video games. but also because we're not competing, you know, if there's like a really well-known Isaac gamer out there that I'm about to insult right now, I'm really sorry, but we're not competing with anybody that I would normally be watching. Like, we're not competing with Cobalt, we're not competing with the Northern Lion live Super Show, we're not competing with Biznap. Nobody in their right mind is up this early in the morning, so we're going to be checking in with the Aussies, we're going to be checking in with the Brits, we're going to be checking in with the French. You know, and I dig that. I'm excited. We can add on to the caves. Why the hell, Taffy? We can add on to our roster of idiots by grabbing on to people who speak multiple languages. So, I'm thinking that I'm probably raspy right now because Richard Hammer and I almost made out, and I think that's the equivalent of smoking a half pack of cigarettes. Which, you know, I'm out of practice when it comes to smoking cigarettes. So I think that's ultimately what got me. That's what did me in. He's a sexy man, though. I can't wait for his calendar to come out. He did a calendar because he cares about his fans enough to deliver on you know, they throw something out as a joke and the man sees a thing that he can make it into an actionable product. So he's working on his calendar, 12 months of dick, and it's everything you want it to be, baby. Australian friendly stream, fuck yeah. 5,000 cheers from Hellhound Puppy. I love the cheering system, man. Like, I was suspicious, just like everybody else. I told Nod, I was just like, why the fuck would I ever buy cheers? And it's like, you know, you pay your premium up front to buy the cheers, but then the streamer gets everything that you spend on them, instead of, you know, PayPal taking a huge cut of it. So, Hellhound Puppy, man, thank you so much. That's awesome. Oh, you twat. You twat waffle. I needed you to come down inside the beam of light. This is actually going to end in this particular run. So yeah, man. There's no one on YouTube who's gonna watch this fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, YouTube is gonna be like, oh, he's stopping to talk to chat. This is why I can't do YouTube. I can't, I don't have it in me anymore to do 45 minutes straight of talking to the voice inside my head. I'd rather talk to you guys, which is, like, infinitely worse, but at least it's technically easier. It's not worse like it's bad, but worse like you guys are harder on me than the voices in my head. That's fine. That's fine. I can pick on my family, can't nobody else do it? So, it's so weird. It's so weird. Yeah, man, so we're gonna... Yeah, I got it. I understand. Thank you, voice guy. We'll have to unlock all the challenge runs and stuff. So, yeah, we have the opportunity to, to really embrace a whole new group of people, and I think that's neat. And I'm going to do it often enough, Monday through Friday, 8 Eastern to noon Eastern. I'm really going to dump the time in, and it gives us all an opportunity to actually build a community and not just have it be like a secret club meeting. Excuse me. We don't just have to have it be like this secret club meeting where we all hang out and there's, 50 of us every single time, and we can't add anyone new if we don't keep a schedule and really commit the time to it. So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you, the Jack Lafeer Jackass podcast, I took I took the microphone from Dick Hammer so that I could talk about how awesome you guys are. So, okay, really quickly before we start our next run, I do want to take a moment and just really, I've said it before, but I was high on Ambien the last time that I did this. I do want to take just another moment to thank, all of you guys, but guys that stayed subscribed for the whole year, and guys that sent us stuff. I mean, I had people making really cool stuff for me by hand and sending it and sending gifts to me and Amber and the boys, just because they wanted me to know that they were still there. So I never forgot that you guys were still here and loving us. Thank you guys for just constantly having our back. So yeah, I stole the mic from Dick Hammer and went off on a rambling tangent in front of a 1,200 person live stream talking about how you guys are just the cat's pajamas, the pigeon's tits, best community bar none. So I love you guys. We're back, and I want to build on that. That's what I want to do. I want other people to see how awesome you guys are. And I'm just also gonna be here. Like, I'll be the hub, playing really shittily at video games, and coughing into the microphone like a professional. And mostly it's just about bringing all you guys into the space. And for the moderators especially, thank you guys. They've held it down for a year. There's been a mod chat this entire time that I've been gone. It's in Skype. We may want to move it to Discord. But yeah, those guys have been in Skype for the last year, just bullshitting on the off chance that we would come back. And so today, they were, I was just like, "Hey, I'm back." And they're like, "Okay, cool. We'll all head in." So, so yeah. Anyway, yeah. Thank you.